Hi, my name is Lisa Schiro. Thanks for joining me. I am a mental health expert as well as a breakthrough coach, and I get to help people who feel stuck say no to that inner critic and yes to their inner rock star. Interestingly enough, I was doing some research on the topic of avoidance, and I was shocked to find that there's not like a ton of information out there. And I know there's billions of links available on Google, but it was really interesting that the topic of avoidance had to do with some of it, like financial, impact to avoiding costs and things like that. I had to really kind of dig around to find some good research-backed material on avoidance. So kind of interesting, right? So today's topic is all about avoidance, and if you are somebody who avoids doing things, you're going to love this. I'm going to give you some quick tips on, how to recognize it and what to do about it, right? I mean, it's one thing to talk about problems, but let's get into some solutions. And you know me, I'm queen of simple, because simple we can remember, simple we can apply really quick. Love it. So let's start off with avoidance. So are you one of these people that, like, you're supposed to get something done, but you just avoid it? Or what about one of these people who avoid topics of, the unpleasant conversations that you have to have with the person you really don't like all that much, but we just avoid it, hoping it will go away? Or are you one of these people who avoid the topic of money because you really don't want to look at it, because then you got to make a change with it and do something about it and fix it? It's like once we know about it, then it's kind of on our conscience to fix it. And so some people just avoid that altogether. So that 5-letter word, avoid, is way more common than you might think. I know I myself have avoided things in my life, just thinking, you know what, I'm not going to pay attention to the details. I'll just let themselves work their way out. But you know what? Guess what? That's not how life works. Well, I'm just messing up my words today, but that's not how life works, right? I mean, you got to go in and look at it. So I'm going to give you just a handful of some good stuff here. So grab a pen and paper, and this information will be down below in the comments. And no matter what, please subscribe to this channel. This is some good stuff I dropped down. All right, here we go. Next time you find yourself avoiding, retracting, just assuming everything's fine, you just rather not have to deal with that difficult situation, I want you to break it down into little tiny steps, little bites of that big old elephant, right? Little steps. You have a mountain of paperwork that you've been avoiding forever. How about every day committing to just doing, I don't know, 6 pieces of paper on it? Whittle it down. Believe me, friend, you will feel way more productive. And it just might give you the motivation to keep moving forward. After all, the best motivation is action. The second thing to consider when you find yourself kind of in that avoidance place is to create a strategy or a plan to go toward it. Because here's what we know about avoidance, putting on my mental health expert hat here. Oh, and I actually have a hat. So what we know about avoidance is over a long period of time, chronic, that means a lot of and high frequency. Like if you practice avoidance a lot chronically, eventually it starts leading into the fear of that thing. And that's not a good place to be. We don't need to fear it. After all, you've survived everything that's ever happened to you, every thought you've had. You're going to survive this one just fine. So that first step was just having little steps, just breaking it down to little digestible steps. The second one we're talking about is creating a plan, going toward it. And one of the best ways to go towards something that's not all that unpleasant is to know ahead of time you are going to have some anxiety with it. What's anxiety? It's fear of the unknown. So have a good cope ahead strategy in place so that those emotions that come up don't take you by surprise. You know what I mean? It's a good cope ahead strategy. It's like having a plan in your pocket just in case. So if you know that talking to that person is going to make you feel some anxiety, just know that you're going to feel it for just a little bit, but unpleasant feelings can't last forever. And maybe give yourself something to look forward to after that tenuous conversation. All right, so that was number 2. Number 3, ask for help when you need it. Sometimes just sitting down with a counselor like myself, you can begin to make a plan that works, a plan that makes sense, a plan that's easy to remember, and a plan that's effective for you and that's simple. We like simple, right? Remember, simple's easy to remember, easy to implement. I hope you loved this quick little clip on how to face avoidance head on. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you loved this today.